friends, let's take a look at Tezos. And what do we have here on the Tezos charts? Now, of course, we'll be looking at Tezos versus Bitcoin, Tezos versus dollar coin, Tezos versus Ether coin in a second. You don't feel the need to tell me that it's not called the dollar coin or the Ether coin. I'm very much aware of that. So save your pretty little fingers typing away on your keyboards. So let's take a look at where we've come from. Where could we be going? Now, have we managed to come up above the 236 on the Fibonacci that's been drawn in since these low highs over here in the middle of August or not? So currently, so far, we have not done so. We're certainly as well below the 21 EMA here. And like I said in yesterday's episode, I was going to underline the score, underscore the point that these are trend following indicators, and that a good thing to use these for down below as well. You can use, both of these in alternative ways, but just if you want to put a bit of context into your own narratives in your head about these indicators, then you might want to say, well, if this is trend following and this is counter trend, then you could look for the crosses over the moving averages or breaking through them, etc., at the same time as seeing other things on the go. What other things, you say, Rocky? What could they be? Well, this is the 4-hour time frame that I have up just now. Bear in mind, yesterday's episode was pretty much dominated by the 24-hour time frame, and if we look down between these two lows here, this particular point just here and this point just here, what do you see on the go? Was that tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your papa, tell your daughter? This is, of course, bullish divergence. And you can see this on the RSI, ding 1. You can see it on the Stochastics, ding 2. You can see it on the DMI, ding, 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 3. And you can see it over here on the MACD as well. Ding, 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 ding. That's number 4 out of 4. Interesting stuff for us. Is it or is it not? Right in here, our fuzzy line, which we called the Alamo. Of course, the last great destination for the Confederates during their war, which they lost, but will Tezos win? And if we take another degree of another sort of perspective on this, what could we have? Bear in mind there's a downward trend here. Actually, let me do this wrongly first off so that you can see how things would be wrong. So for instance, if you were to look at this and say we've got some sort of shoulder here, some sort of head here, and some sort of shoulder here, that would be wrong because it's a regular head and shoulders. The pattern actually doesn't really fit with the way it's supposed to be in terms of the size of these things. The previous price action was a downward trend, and none of that makes any sense whatsoever. But that's a little lesson for you nevertheless. Instead, what could it be? Could be indeed an inverted head and shoulders. And there's be various different ways of drawing this in. For instance, let's do it sort of fairly sloppily using this broad left shoulder, this middle area as our head, and let's kind of just more or less kind of get sloppy in there and say that was sort of like your right hand shoulder over there. Now, of course, this could be drawn in better ways. I could be a better man. Oh, God, right? So there'd be various different ways of doing this. This line here, perhaps like that. And maybe we have an inverted head and shoulders instead. The measured move off the back of this thing, if you were to be looking at that, and with regards to where our moving averages are, and of course our Fibonacci retracements, if you were to do something like this and go for the full wackled-ackles, you're looking up to come up towards where the 200 simple moving average is here on the 4-hour time frame. Meaning that you'd have first off, you'd have tested the 50 along the way, which is of course in and around about where the neckline is. You could also say that maybe the neckline is between the 21 EMA and the 50, perhaps it's in around about the 55 EMA, and perhaps it's in various different places on different timelines, whatever. But looking here at the 4-hour time frame, or you could maybe be looking at a 60% move. Either of those two, but if we did go up, then we'd have also tested the 200 simple and given you a nice confirmation of this death cross here, perhaps, or indeed coming in for a test of it to break the thing. If we do actually go up and just get a sort of 60% move off the back of it, then you could be getting resisted by the 233 Fibonacci, 233 moving average exponential, or indeed the 144 moving average exponential, or indeed, of course, the white coloured line of our parallel channel in the background, which dominated the price action for a very long time, running up towards that point. In fact, you whackedy. So that's what you could be looking to in terms of all those things. And the story over there on the dollar pricing won't be terribly different, but we do have numerous things, and that's a pretty detailed, comprehensive look. Now, if you were in a professional institution and you were purely looking at the technical analysis on this thing and having to explain to somebody above you who is auditing your work what you'd been doing, then you'd be able to justify decisions based off the back of movements above this fuzzy line over here, which we had drawn in horizontally anyway, where it is actually lining up with the neckline of that head and shoulders, and say, look, I've come up with a degree of confluence here, which gives me the confidence to say that there's a nice risk management area here for us between these two zones. Moving down past that would be perhaps a failure of the inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we could be looking down towards further targets towards the downside, having had maybe perhaps what could be considered ultimately something along the lines of perhaps some sort of hidden divergence or whatever along the way. You could build up a story if it were to fail, but if it were to work, you've got the bullish divergence showing up there. This would be your hidden divergence, by the way, what I was talking about here, these highs, having come up higher whilst it's lower, that's your hidden one, right? But then, if we were to go up towards the top side, you'd be able to justify it, and that would call, beautiful. And if you did that all the time, you'd be in line for a promotion in not too long. They'd also pay for you to do all your exams and push you out there to start representing clients, because that's called professional level technical analysis. So let's move on to the next level here and take a look at the next chart here and take a look at the dollar pricing and see if there's anything particularly different. Bullish divergence, it's there. The potential for hidden bearish divergence, should it fail, it's there. The potential to draw in a head and shoulders on there, it's there. The fact that we've got various other confluence things coming in for us, such as the median line of this parallel channel in the background, should we see a failure of that pattern, it's there. And we have also got a quite nice and easy sort of area to look to in terms of moving past that as a neckline potentially as that parallel channel as well. It's there. If we also look at the moving averages, we have the yellow 21 EMA coming in there at the neckline. It's there. We also have this purple horizontal line that we've got as well, which could dictate perhaps our fake out territory if we were to go up there and push on past it. Of course, negating this sort of concept, as it were, of hidden bearish divergence. If that were to be the case, revisiting this potentially then thereafter and looking at a subsequent low, if there is to be one, and perhaps shifting that head and shoulders idea onto the next of the three peaks. Right? Okay. It's there. Looking at this thing as well, we also have a death cross over here in the 4-hour time frame. But if we look up towards the 24-hour time frame, how are we positioned there? And there actually isn't a death cross, and we're being resisted by the 200 simple moving average. And moving past those zones, we'd be breaking the 200 simple moving average towards the top side. It's very much there too. There you go. I'd say that you've done very, very well if you were to have come up with any of that information, half of it, even half of that on your own. And of course, this is just a selection of indicators and whatever, and you're free to use your own ones, such as Bollinger Bands and all the rest of it, to come up with these decisions too. I really do hope that you take away some of the value here and really start applying it to your trading, because you'll go from zero to hero in a matter of minutes. Look at this over here then. I'm not going to bother doing other stuff like the convergence between the different charts and the other areas that we're looking at, and the top side resistance and whatever else. I'm not going to bother with that today because we did that in yesterday's episode. If you want more detail, go ahead and look at that one. There's lots of good stuff there. If you want to partake in a Satoshi giveaway, where I'll be giving away this number of views that we've had in the channel over the period of the month in terms of Satoshis to one lucky winner, then and how to enter it and all that, watch the Bitcoin video. And it's the Bitcoin video channel sort of that I'm looking to try and get some growth on there, because presumably I'm pretty much saturating the Tezos market in terms of YouTube anyway. Currently, I assume so. We've still been of the mindset that I'm pretty much the only person doing this. I'm certainly the OG, but I'm pretty sure I'm still probably the only one. Let's just find out. Screw it. What have we got? What have we got if I search Tezos TA, for instance? Me. Okay, maybe that's not going to work. Maybe I need to have... 6 days ago, somebody else did one, though. That's okay. Maybe we need to do this in an incognito tab. I don't know. Bitcoin, Tezos, so optical aren't not very good. Good guy. Interesting guy. Very good in terms of, giving you a different perspective that you might want to compare your own sort of charting to and stuff like that. And help you discover what type of trader you want to be. Loads of utility in terms of his videos. My very first Tezos reward. Okay, that's months ago. This guy, he's great. Psychic readings by Andrew. I'm sure he's probably got more subscribers than I do and everything. Let's see, has he? 3,500. So can we get to 2? He started his channel maybe after me and everything. And look at the effort he puts into his videos with his backgrounds and stuff like that. You can't fault the guy. He just comes up with he says, I've been thinking about this. This is what I'll be saying. I've been thinking about things and I've felt about Tezos, and in this month the price of Tezos, it's going to go up. Yeah, it's going to go up. There's really good things happening for it. The stars are aligned for it, and yeah, it's going to be good. But of course, things could go down. It's a little bit uncertain at the moment, but right now it's got a good feeling for it. I'll see you next time. Anyway, great guy, love his videos. Don't think he makes anybody any money, but he certainly gets the subscriber views. Can we get to 2,000 in the next couple of weeks? Anyway, that's why I want to grow the Bitcoin video channels, because I'm pretty much all, I'm surely dominating in terms of the Tezos space.
In this video, look at this.
Shush, Carl, shush, please. Honestly, Carl, what was that just came up there? Maybe a 404 error or something. I wonder, flashed in there. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much us covered everything off. I was going to look at the Tezos versus Ethereum. Yeah, right. So we're below the 21 over here in the daily time frame. There's coming down here, putting in a low, which is lower than this low over here. As you can see, bringing this up to a big screen, you can see that that's obviously got some bullish divergence on the go. Over here, we've got bullish divergence within the oversold period zone of the stochastics. Looking at this as well, do we have it in terms of the DMI? Well, we most certainly do. Counter towards that, of course, we have this negative the negative DI being above the positive DI, having had a crossover here on the 25th of August, as the ADX is above 20 and actually is it above 25 as well. That's below 25, so there's a question mark to be had in this zone here, but that's what's brought us down as far as this. We'd need to see a turnaround. Now, if this were to turn around and cross over again from this point, you could see that happening, and perhaps in some ways this is positioned quite nicely for a fast and furious turnaround if we were to get one, which would be nice to see, as we have this bullish divergence very strongly exhibited over there in terms of the MACD as well. There is, of course, a slight touch of the hidden bearish divergence, not to be overlooked nor dismissed, not so much on the DMI, but indeed on the stochastics got it? No. So just here on the MACD, there's a touch of it, but then again, that's as a result of this sort of the structure of this. I suppose that's kind of dismissive of oscillators. What I'm really saying is that there's like mitigating factors against that, really, in terms of how we've been performing overall. And looking at the things in general, that was come up towards fulfilling a 618 Fibonacci retracement, and right down here at the lows, can we get above this 0.008 number, which we know of being quite important for us. Above us, of course, we have this current resistance, as you can see on the charts here. Just kind of pause the video and check it out and draw these things yourself. As you can see, all the significant numbers over there on the left axes. Okie dokie. So thanks so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. I've been Rocky Outcrop. I will still be Rocky Outcrop when I come back and do another episode tomorrow, which you are more than welcome to join me for. I hope you take a lot of value at these episodes, because I certainly do endeavour to put some educational material in there for you. If you like, you can join me on the Discord for more chitter chatter. And of course, there's a great community of people in there already. Bear in mind, that friend of yours is a friend of mine, and that extends to all of you out there who are yet to even discover the channel. I really do appreciate you tuning in as well. People are going to be asking me, like they did in the most recent video, up or down. Let me just go over to the channel comments real quick as I finish this video off, so that I can actually answer this again the way that I did for a while. Last week you saw, wait, hold on a second. There we go. There is a spammer, hide user from channel. And there we go. Here's another one. Let's just report them as spam. Let's report as unwanted commercial content or spam. Report. Okie dokie. Let's report this one as spam. I do this all the time, at least 10 a day. Check out other videos on YouTube and you will see that they do not do that, because they're looking for the boon to their statistics, whereas I don't care. Instead, I value you massively and want there to be good quality content above and below the fold of the page. Now, let me just hide them from the channel so that they can't put their crap out there anymore. Let me just find that comment where somebody said up or down, asking about Tezos, and here's the answer for you. Dup. No. Own. Wait. Neither of those is right. It's going dup own. Definitely owned up. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you tomorrow.